Hey guys, I'm Joe Ewing. I run for Edinburgh AC in the UK and I run for Harvard University out in the States. I run mainly middle distance during the track season, so mile indoors, 1500 outdoors, and cross country in the fall, of course. I really got into running through like school stuff. So when I was like 12 years old, I was doing the school cross country league, and that was my first kind of experience being exposed to running, and that was cross country.
Yeah.
Before eventually heading into the track stuff.
Yeah, so you had a good career when you were younger as well, winning multiple titles in 800 metres, and getting picked to represent Britain at the Under-20 European Championships as well,
Yeah.
the 1500. Obviously now you said that's transitioned into competing in the NCAA for Harvard. Could you just talk us through that process of how the Harvard offer came about,
Yeah.
and if there were many other ones like on your radar at the time?
Yeah, for sure. So it's one of those things that you get to the age of being a school leaver, and if you're running fast, colleges start to reach out to you. But I was kind of in between those times where I was running fast enough that if I wanted to go to the States, it was an option, but I wasn't getting offers from, dozens of schools. So it was my senior year when I was applying, like UCAS, applying to domestic unis, that I kind of realised that the States is the best option for me to continue everything at the highest level. So I actually took the initiative and sent out a few emails to a few schools, just kind of like asking about the process and whether it's something that we could explore.
Yeah.
And honestly, my process was quite simple after that. Coach Gibby reached out and was clearly very interested. And again, as I said, like it was quite simple from there. I was kind of Harvard from the gun.
Yeah, obviously we mentioned Harvard is a Nike-sponsored university, so there's no surprise to see you wearing some Nike kit.
Yep.
What's like your main rotation in terms of shoes for sort of easy runs, sessions, races, that kind of thing?
Yeah, so I mean, as like a Nike school, it's nice to be able to get kind of like Nike gear whenever we need.
Yeah.
So I try and structure things between like I'll wear pegs for certain efforts and then structures for most of my like easier days. We tend to stay out of Vaporflies. Our coach just doesn't like us wearing them. Maybe sometimes during track session for reps and stuff, but not really. And then obviously Dragonflies for races are what I wear for any kind of more intense track efforts.
Yeah, so Dragonflies for the track races and cross country as well?
Cross country Dragonflies as well,
Yeah.
I mean, like, the thing about the cross country in America is that a lot of it is just so fast. It's like big golf courses, so if you don't have Dragonflies on, like, you're almost at a disadvantage. It's not like racing it in Falkirk where your foot gets stuck in the mud. So today I am doing a fartlek, all with equal recovery. So I'm doing 2 on, 2 off, 3 on, 3 off, 5 on, 5 off, 3 on, 3 off, 2 on, 2 off. So it's just like a pyramid.
Yeah.
Like relatively simple workout. Just gonna get it in, and then I'm heading back off to the US on Sunday. I'm planning on just going around the.
Yeah.
So I'll just go all the way down and then back around this side.
You just do your loop and I'll work around you and Speaking of racing as well, your first indoor season for Harvard, you managed to break 4 minutes in the mile running 3:58 indoors. That must be like a highlight of your time there so far.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you go in as a freshman wide-eyed and everything just seems like a possibility, and like, especially coming from being a successful junior in the UK, you go into the NCAA and it's like this whole new world. And instead of being like one of the best guys running like 3:44, there's dozens of guys that have run sub 4.
Yeah.
And I think it goes two ways, right? Like, you can either throw yourself into the deep end and make the most of that, or you can find yourself being intimidated by it. And I think my freshman indoor season, I just took the horse by the reins and just decided to go for it.
Yeah.
And it ended up running really well.
That was one of the fastest mile times in Harvard, was it?
Yeah. So, funny enough, like since then, we've actually had like 3 guys run faster. So Graham, Acer and Vivian have all run faster, but I think it's just testament to like the strength of the program and how much it's growing. Like before I was at school, I think Harvard had only had 1 guy run sub 4 in history. And now we've had 4, so and I think that number is only going to keep increasing.
Enjoying that wind?
First of all,
What rep is next, sir?
5 minutes, so this is kind of the big one.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping that I catch the wind perfectly here.
Yeah.
I think I might.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, and you're talking about like the standards that people are running as well is like super high nowadays. Not even just at like top universities, but all across the board as well. But yeah, I'm just interested to know about the pressure that brings. Obviously, being on scholarship, you're kind of expected to perform at a high standard, as well as being at an Ivy League. There's a high kind of outlook on the academics as well. How do you kind of manage to maintain a good balance, like not let the pressure get to you, and kind of what advice would you give people coming into that system?
Yeah, I honestly think it's one of the ones that it may seem counterintuitive, but being at an academic school actually makes the pressure easier. Because like going into heavy race season, like we don't really have time to think about each individual race. You just have to deal with it as it comes up, right? So I think it is tricky, but I think we get the opportunity to race so much in really competitive fields that you're much better off for it. Like my outdoor season this year, for example, I basically raced 3 championship meets within a 6-week span, and I just don't think you're exposed to that level of like literal competition heats and finals in the UK. Yeah, and I think the pressure is, as much of it is pressure that you put in yourself, being in a collegiate environment with high-performing athletes, you know? So yeah, I mean, I don't overthink it, especially during cross-country, because you know the training you've done has been really strong, but it's definitely each to their own.
Definitely, yeah, and those that hard training led you to getting a new PB in the 1500 metres this season, running a 3:41. After coming back from an injury last year, you must be pretty happy with bouncing back to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the ones that last year, after I ran 3:58 indoors, heading into the outdoor season, I was really, really fit. And was looking to run like really fast. But it just didn't really happen for me. I got injured in March. And heading into indoors this year, unfortunately I got injured again in January. So that was definitely a blow, especially after the steps I'd made to kind of counter that. So, I mean, I sat down with Gibby kind of in the beginning of February, and we just tried to figure out whether we can actually muster the courage to do an outdoor track season. And like, we looked at the timeline, and I think it was like 10 weeks from when I was off my feet to Wake Forest, which is where I ran my PR. And I think just having that like support system around me and realising that this is something that we can do, you know, using the Ultra-G, making the most of the resources that I can get at Harvard. Yes, honestly it was more of a relief than anything. I just wanted to secure the regionals qualifier. But yeah, I mean a PB is a PB, you can't complain.
Big one done.
Sorry?
Big one done.
Yeah, completely into the wind.
Yeah.
Completely my fault.
Might do a couple quick fire questions as well.
Yeah, hit me.
Take all the time you want to think about them. Split shorts or half tights for races?
Always split shorts.
Always split shorts. You go to pre-race meal.
Meal?
Yeah.
It's tricky because we're travelling so much.
Yeah.
So you can't really like marry one meal.
Yeah.
I'd say oatmeal, porridge, banana, maybe some toast.
Yeah.
And always a coffee.
Yeah.
A coffee like 90 minutes before.
Okay. You much of a coffee drinker normally or just
Big,
before
yeah.
races?
Big time coffee drinker every morning. And sometimes before workouts if it's a big one.
Yeah. Now would you go to pre-race hype up song?
I'm not really a pre-race type guy.
Yeah.
Like, I've definitely been in those positions. And for me, it's better to just stay centered.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so much can go wrong in a 1500.
Yeah.
You don't want to be too amped up at 400.
Yeah.
So that's my view.
Best race you've ever done is in the one you've enjoyed the most or the one you're most proud of, or both?
Okay, so most proud of, without a doubt, is regionals crossed last year.
Yeah.
I wasn't meant to score for our guys, and I ended up being our 5th guy.
Okay.
And like indirectly punched our tickets to nationals.
Nice.
Obviously we had Graham and Acer go 1-2,
Yeah.
which helped a lot. But that's definitely the race that I'm most proud of.
An all-time running idol.
Probably Jake Whiteman, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Stu LFP.
yeah, we went to the same school. His career path for me is very linear, and I can see how like that aligns to someone who's up and coming.
Yeah.
So for me, like, that's always been a realistic one.
Yeah.
And definitely so. I mean, and of course Lindsay, like Lindsay Sharp.
Oh yeah.
So Lindsay's mum Carol coached me from when I was 12 until I left for uni.
Yeah.
So I watched Lindsay kind of go through the ranks basically, and she's known me since I was 12 years old. So.
Okay. Favorite venue you've ever raced at?
Okay, so the BU indoor track
Yeah.
is without a doubt the best, and it's crazy because there's all those fast races around.
Yeah.
Like I watched Rudy Kincaid run 12:51 this year.
Yeah.
I watched Grant run 12:54 last year.
That's
I saw Nagoose run 7:39. So definitely BU.
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Enjoy. And yeah, what's a typical sort of training week look like for you? More so in the build up to some of your like biggest performances in the summer. What does that look like for the track training?
Yeah, so I mean, our program kind of, the strength definitely comes from consistency across the board, regardless of if you're an 800 guy, a 10k guy, you know?
Yeah.
So the training week won't really differ. So let's say 2 weeks out from like a Saturday meet. For us, it's always Tuesday, Friday workouts, and then normally a Thursday day off with a long run on Sunday, and then in between is just maintenance runs.
Yeah.
So maintenance runs, just for those who aren't sure, like we do our easy days kind of like relatively fast. It's Coach Gibby's philosophy. So we run most of our easy days at like around 6 flat per mile, which is definitely intimidating, especially as a freshman, but you adjust to it quite quickly. And those Tuesday, Friday workouts will have a primary workout and a secondary workout, and most of even the track stuff is kind of preceded by either like a short tempo or a fartlek of some sort, and then we'll really only ease up towards the end of the week that we're racing. So yeah. Definitely starting to suffer a bit now.
Yeah, you feeling it?
Yeah.
I'm all along now though, with the wind though, so.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, summer training, like, you just have to get it in.
Yeah.
It's not pretty, like.
Yeah. I suppose it's just like the pre-base training. You
That's
do it
the
on your
thing.
own, makes the winter miles a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah.
You're back with the boys.
Get the heart rate up twice a week.
Yeah. Nowhere better to be than Cramond on this fine Friday morning.
Exactly. Someone's got to be down here.
Exactly. The rent is due.
Yeah. Last rep.
Get it done. Right, and a bit of a bittersweet ending to the season, just managing to miss out on the NCAAs, getting into them. So what's like the goals now for the rest of the season? Is it full steam ahead for cross-country prep?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that when I was off my feet in February, if you told me that I would just miss out on regionals, but on nationals by half a second, I would have taken it there and then. But then you get to that environment and it's tough to miss it by that little. So I ended up coming home because I didn't want to end my season on like a sour note. So I came home to race English under 23 champs. Not so much to race Euros, I didn't have the standard, just to like get another racing opportunity. So I placed second there, and I figured that was a good place to kind of end my track season. So took a couple of weeks off after that, and since then I've just been building for cross country. So pretty simple, just miles, and like 2 workouts a week in the long run.
Good stuff, little float to end it off.
Yeah, just round it up.
Right, fartlek done. How was it?
Yeah, it was definitely hard. I mean, the summer workouts are never easy solo. But like, you just have to get it in.
Yeah. Get it done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm heading back to the States on Sunday.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to train with a group again.
Yeah. I was going to ask that as well for just for the rest of your season. Obviously, you're starting to build up to cross now. Have you got any races planned? What's the next big race you've got on the calendar?
The first race of the season for us is HYP.
Okay.
So it's Harvard, Yale, and Princeton. But I'm not sure if we're all going to race. Like, it just kind of depends. The first big race for us is the Beantown Invitational. So that's in Boston. And that's where Ivy Heps will be, like our Ivy League champs will be this year.
Is that cross country 5K?
Yeah, sorry. So cross country 8K. So all of our kind of mid-season races are 8K. And then the post-season, so regionals and nationals, they're both 10K cross.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm looking back to getting on the start line, especially given how compressed this past track season was.
Yeah. No, nice one. Good session today. Thanks for letting me come along and film it.
Nice one. Yeah, thanks, Theo.